Good morning, everyone. I'm Mr. Gilbert, one of the guidance counselors here at the high school. We're going to talk about Carnegie Mellon this morning. Some of the things we're going to talk about are the application process, facts about the applications, the specialty programs, their housing, dining types of programs they have on campus, and then we'll do a question and answer at the end. To start with the first slide here, Carnegie Mellon is a regular decision school January 1st. Their early decision program is November 1st. They use the Common Application. One of the things that they do have on their website, they talk about the ZME. I don't know if you've heard of ZME, but it is a way for you to communicate more information to the admissions folks through the use of video and social media type things that you can add into your ZME account and then share that with the admissions folks. They also have an online portfolio. Carnegie Mellon requires the subject tests. You should check on the specific tests they require based on major. Their application fee is $75, and their application process is major specific. What that means is that you're competing against students for slots in your major. You're not just applying generally to the university and then placed into a major. So you need to keep that in mind when you're applying to Carnegie Mellon. Some of their stats there for grade point average and test scores you can see. They're based on the old SAT math and reading scores, so they're a little bit lower than the new SAT. The new SAT scores are a little bit higher, so keep that in mind when you're looking at these statistics. They're extremely competitive. I'm going to be very honest. The acceptance rates you can see there, some of their main programs, it's very competitive. Their computer science program is probably the most competitive with the 6% acceptance rate. So it is very difficult, but they have a lot of great programs. So the overall acceptance rate for Carnegie is 21.7%. An important statistic for Carnegie Mellon is the 96% retention rate, which means that students who attend Carnegie Mellon tend to stay and be extremely happy with their choice. So that is a very important statistic to look at when you're looking at Carnegie Mellon or any school. All right, their undergraduate enrollment is around 5,800 students, and their graduate student enrollment is about the same. So they have a lot of graduate students on campus, and there's a lot of interaction between the undergraduate and graduate students. You must select your first intended major, and what that means is once you're accepted into your major and you get there on campus, you can choose to double major, you can add a minor. A lot of the students on campus do double major and have a minor as well. Okay, so there's a lot of flexibility that Carnegie Mellon offers in that area. They do have interviews. Their interviews typically run from May to November. First-time interviews are usually with alumni, which is typical for a lot of your high-end schools. So you would just meet somewhere with an alumni person who's gone through the training and is designated by the university. Some of their specialty programs, I think one of the fun things about Carnegie Mellon is they have a lot of opportunity right at your fingertips. Google is, I think, 2 blocks away. They have their Pixar research facility on campus that works with Pixar. You can see on the slide here the movie Big Hero 6, thank you, the Big Hero 6. That actually originated at Carnegie Mellon when they were working on some robotics, and it sort of evolved, and that's sort of where that character came from. So they have a lot of cutting edge research, and one of the other things that Carnegie Mellon offers is some interdisciplinary majors where you can sort of customize your major, okay, into your areas of interest. Okay, so they have a lot of flexibility and support with their academic services on campus. They also do a nice job with internships. A lot of their internships for some of their students are paid interns. So they just do a nice job getting students out into the real world. Along with that, their study abroad programs, like many schools, they have a very comprehensive study abroad program. They have summer programs. Most of their study abroads, like most campuses, are semester-long study abroad programs. They have work and volunteer opportunities. Again, they vary greatly. They have a lot of flexibility in how they roll them out. So you just need to look into them once you get to the school. So the cost is always an important question. Carnegie Mellon has a pretty high sticker price. It has a $51,000 is their going rate approximately depending on the program of study. Their room and board is around $14,000, which of course varies. They do offer a variety of housing options. So they have suites, dorms, they have full houses, singles, doubles, triples, and quads. So they have a wide variety. Some students, upperclassmen, will live off campus nearby. Their meal plan is very comprehensive. You do have 34 different locations to get a meal in and around the campus. They have learning communities, so you can house with folks who are in the same major or have the same interests with you. So they do take part in those types of things. And of course, at the bottom there, you see the cost is $68,000. Now, let's talk about that. Don't get too carried away with the $68,000. These are all sticker prices for these schools. They have good scholarship and grant programs, okay, for students who have the right academic credentials. So don't get scared away by the total cost and decide that I'm not going to apply there. You can always put it on your list, and if the financial package isn't what you need, you can always move on to another school. The net price calculator is something that most schools have on their websites. I encourage you to visit that so you can really figure out what it might cost you to go to Carnegie Mellon. They do utilize two different financial aid forms. I'm sure you all are familiar with the FAFSA, which is your state and federal aid form, and then they also use the CSS profile on top of the FAFSA, not in place of the FAFSA. The CSS profile is a little bit more comprehensive. So just make sure you're in tune with the financial aid office if you're applying to Carnegie Mellon. They also offer the ROTC scholarships and merit-based scholarships through Carnegie Mellon. So again, if you have the right academic credentials, there is money to be had through Carnegie Mellon. Campus life, miscellaneous things, 19% of their student population is in Greek life, so it is part of campus life, but it is not all-encompassing. One of the fun things we found out, they actually have a bagpiping major on campus, so you'll hear the bagpipers from time to time practicing. They have buggy sweepstakes. One of their big events is their spring carnival, where they will have competitions and they'll have students who will build different structures per a theme, and they'll have a competition and a judging, and folks from the community will come out and look through their different structures and ideas. Lots of things to do on campus. They have 280 student organizations. Their athletics are Division III, and you can see they have 43 clubs and intramural sports to participate in addition to the 18 Division III NCAA sports that they offer. Their student-to-faculty ratio is 13:1, which is excellent. It's a very low ratio. One thing to note with Carnegie, I was really, being on campus, it just seemed like it was a very technical, their robotics labs and everything that we got to see, it was great. They're so comprehensive, but the thing that was a little surprising is that their theater program is very strong as well. So not only are they good in the technical side of things, but they also offer some very good programs on the theater and arts side of things. So if you're looking at Carnegie Mellon, don't think that you're getting into a school that's just strictly science and computers and technology, because they do offer the arts side to balance things out. The location, if you haven't been there, you're right across the street from Pitt. You're on the edge of Pittsburgh, so it's a great location. There's a park nearby. I believe it's 300 or 400 acre park that is right next door. So there's a lot of different opportunities to get out of the city while still being close to the opportunities in the city. So it's a very good balance. You can take classes at Pitt if you want to, if you're a Carnegie Mellon student, and vice versa. So there is that opportunity as well. So I think it was a very nice visit, and I think getting on that campus, I would encourage you to get on that campus and really talk to folks and really learn about the school. Okay, I think we'll move on to some questions and answers.